Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to our LinkedIn Live this week. And I'm thrilled to have Regina Mangan, who is the founder of Liberty Blue Estate Agents, based in Waterford, with us today. So, hello, Regina. Lovely to see you.
Hi, Samantha. Hi, everybody. Great to be here.
Well, we're delighted to have you on because you have been, we've been noticing you doing a lot on social media. So we decided to do this show up, stand out, and serve LinkedIn Live because I think in the summer in particular, I think people tend to kind of not bother showing up and standing out online. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. But first of all, tell us a little bit about you, Regina, for people who don't know you.
Well, first of all, despite this calm exterior, this kind of stuff actually stresses me out because I love technology and I love social media, but it doesn't actually come easy to me.
Mm.
So I'm the same as everybody else. I set up the business 28 years ago. Can't believe how the years fly. We were the first property management company in Waterford and the Southeast, as far as I know. I was young and clueless. A grant from the local enterprise board and a 10,000 overdraft from Bank of Ireland basically got me going. And we expanded from property management, renting out people's houses and their apartments, to selling residential property about 10 years ago. And when I set up the business, I set it up under Booker Room, the accommodation company, because I had
Yes.
other plans for it. And then 10 years ago, we rebranded with the help of a marketing consultant, Paula Ronan, and that rebrand has been amazing. And we've been growing and growing and growing in a really competitive space. So we really had to stand out. We really, really did.
Yeah, and you've certainly done that. And yeah, I know Paula, she's great. Hi, Paula, if you're watching. But definitely, I know that for starting out, it's not easy. And people think it's really easy, but it's actually not. And, there's been you've such a recognizable brand in Irish real estate. There must have been some mindset shifts that had to help you stay, you know, stay showing up, especially when you didn't feel like it.
I believe in trusting the process. I look at really successful people in the industry. I learn from what has worked from them. I've been coached by a number of them, and I trust the process. I equate business to sport. And I think it's a great analogy. If you want to get fit, you want to lose weight, or you want to tone up, or you want to be more energetic, you've got to consistently walk or consistently go to the gym or whatever works for you, or lift weights. And I love having accountability coaches. Like, I'm working with you, Samantha, and you hold me accountable. So why are we doing this LinkedIn Live? Because you told me I had to do it. It's my first one. I was very nervous because I was worried about the glitches of setting it up, but it's about what gets started gets done. Trust the process.
Mm.
People who are doing really well are saying you should be doing LinkedIn Lives. People who are doing really well are saying you should be doing newsletters. And consistency is the name of the game. So even when you feel tired or you're having a bad hair day, then I put on a hat if I'm having a bad hair day. But it's really about consistently showing up. And it's not about consistently showing up perfect. It's about being authentic. And that's being the true you. I think because there's nobody better than you yourself.
True, yeah, and I think you stand out big time. I'd like to welcome people who are watching. We have 12 people watching at the moment. So, folks, if you have a question or you have anything you'd like to ask Regina, please put it in the comments and I will highlight it for you. So, definitely, if you would like to have your comment or question featured, we will feature that for you. Um, so, I suppose it's such a competitive market, though, Regina. Like, what have you done as an agency to stand out, and especially, like, how have you done things differently?
So if you look at our logo, there's a ladybird. And if you look up the meaning of what a ladybird stands for, she brings luck and abundance wherever she goes. And that really is a symbol of how we do business. Our mission is to bring happiness to our customers, our community, and our colleagues. And someone might say, well, how do you do that? Our involvement in the community is hugely important to us. So it's part of our DNA. We don't wait for someone to ask us for something. It's part of our plan and our strategy. The coffee morning for Christmas, we've been doing over 10 years. We're trying to make it bigger and better. And we love being immersed in the community. And it's a win-win situation. It's a feel good. It's something we look forward to every year. We're sponsoring under eights camogie team, and we love that. They're wearing our jerseys and they've the Liberty Blue logo and the Ladybird, and we love that. So again, it's trusting the process. We do have a marketing strategy. We have a plan. We have a very clear vision, and we do kind of stay in our own lane. Instead of worrying about, well, how many listings our competitors have, how many houses are they selling, we look at how many we want to sell and what actions do we have to take to grow our business. And it is all about action. You can have all the strategies and plans in the world, but they're absolutely useless without action. So when I started working with you, we agree the action plan, and then ultimately it's about what gets started, gets done. You make the appointment, you tell everyone, and then you figure out how the hell you're going to do it, like this LinkedIn Live. But it really is about getting out of your comfort zone. I meet so many people, they say, but I'm useless at video, I'm not good at it. You have to be on video. You have to be making consistent videos if you want to stand out. And we want to be different to our competitors. And you ask me, how do we do that? Well, our mission is to be helpful experts and to bring happiness to our customers, our community, and our colleagues. So, how do we bring happiness? What does that actually look like? And to be helpful experts, it's about us giving advice around being a landlord, a property owner, about selling your property, about buying your property. So we're not looking for anything. And eventually it does pay off. And it's about consistently showing up. And there are days, especially during COVID, when I was recording all these videos and getting the team to record videos, especially Maria, is say to my husband, I don't think there's anybody watching. You know, and I'm fixing my hair and I'm going out and I'm like, hi, everyone. Some days I did not feel like that. That's the time you have to show up.
Yeah.
And interestingly, we got a huge piece of business on the back of COVID because of our videos, because this guy who had actually planned to give the business to somebody else, his family saw us online and his family said, check these out. And now it's been a huge game changer for us. So, you know, you never know who's watching. And that's another point. People get so carried away with the likes, the shares, going viral. Half these people that are sharing, you know, they're just not our customers. And it could be 10 likes, it might be 25 likes, but don't worry about that. Trust the process, keep showing up, get out of your comfort zone. That is where the magic happens.
Absolutely. And I just want to give a shout out to Magella, who said she just got Regina's book. She's looking forward to reading it. You are going to love it. Regina, tell us a bit about your book, actually.
Oh, thank you very much. And thanks, Magella. The book feels like a distant memory. I wrote that book actually when a key member of the team was out for 5 months, and it was probably our busiest year. The book, you can buy it on our website. You can order it from the website libertyblue.ie. But again, the book was a process. I committed to it. I booked the time. I worked with a company. I paid them. I signed a contract, and I was committed. And so every morning I used to get up at 5 to write because that was the only window I had. And then I had a deadline. I live off deadlines. My deadline was my son's birthday in November of the same year, and I started writing it in January. I knew if I dragged it out, like I don't want to be writing a book for 2 or 3 or 4 years, that would just get in on me. And it was a really valuable experience writing the book. And I did love the writing. But then when I was promoting the book, I had massive imposter syndrome. And for about a month, I felt really, really kind of nearly sick with nerves. What would people think? And then I realized, get over it. Nobody's interested. And just drive on and stick to the plan, regardless of how you feel.
And actually, there's some great, I have this book and I've read this book, so I highly recommend it, right? But there is one where you talk about, and you know, with regards to how you stand out from others, continuous improvement. You mentioned this in your book, strive for continuous improvement. And I think you do that a lot, and it's really evident. You know, like, just so people know, there's the videos you do a lot of, what about the Vision Pro, for example? Like, you're embracing technology all the time, aren't you?
I love that. I love pushing the boundaries, looking at what I suppose can we bring in to make it a really fantastic customer experience. What can we do to lean out? What can we do to get rid of wasteful activities? Doing Hi Evelyn. Evelyn's from my home place, Crocora, County Limerick. We went to the same school together. So it's about looking at what's coming down the line. For example, AI is a huge thing.
Yeah.
I'm watching video tutorials. I have an excellent network of estate agents who are hugely progressive in the UK, and I'm looking at what's coming down the track. AI is huge. So AI is particularly important for anyone in business. We will be left behind if we don't embrace it. So one tip, what I have learned, the AI agents will be all over our websites. You have to have loads of information on your website, loads and loads and loads. And that's what they'll do. They'll grab that information, and it will be more than likely the new search engine for anything in business. Tell me the best chip shop in
Yep.
Dungarvan. Tell me who's the top estate agent in Waterford. So
Yes.
you really, really have to embrace AI. I love that because I want to be in front. I don't want to be behind.
Yeah, and you know what? And I think this is a really important time as well to have your personal brand really polished, because if someone searches for the expert in something, you want to come up in that search, especially because people are using ChatGPT and AI for search now. I have a question. So we're going to talk about social media, about showing up on social media. So Vanya, hi Vanya, lovely to see you. Thank you
Hi,
so much
Vanya.
for the question. If someone only has 30 minutes a day for social media, what's the one activity you'd recommend they focus on to get the biggest impact? And I can help with this as well.
Great. Brilliant question, Vanya. So I watched a video by Ryan Serhart last night, and I'll actually send it to you later on, Vanya. He talks about, actually, if you're going to be super organized, just record it and schedule it to go out. I'm probably not the best person to do that because I don't know how my day is going to go, and I want it to be truly, truly authentic. I think it needs to be personally on the go. Could be a photo, it's static image, a video on the go. The more raw and real, the better. I think people really connect with raw and real. It doesn't have to be perfect. As a very talented interior designer and stager, Vanya, I know you want everything to be perfect, but also we need people to relate to us. That would be my thoughts.
And I'm going to add to that, if that's okay. So, definitely, folks, focus on the platform where your audience are, first of all, because a lot of people think they have to be here, they have to be there. You don't. You need to be where your audience are hanging out. So focus on even one platform or two that you're really good at and where your audience are. Now, let's say you're really good at Instagram. Okay. Well, that's okay, but are your audience on Instagram? So Instagram is for window shopping. It's great for the images and all of that. But now if you look around the other platforms, short form video is huge. And people have short attention spans. So to build that trust, even us doing this LinkedIn Live today, it's building trust for both of us. But now people are in my network are meeting Regina possibly for the first time and seeing Regina. So definitely in the comments, please let me know if you're seeing Regina for the first time and hearing her speak for the first time. I doubt it somehow, but
Can
but
I add to
yeah.
that, Samantha? So Vanya has staged a number of show houses for us in Waterford. I first found Vanya on LinkedIn. So that was where the whole know, like, trust came in.
Mhm.
And I think LinkedIn is a really powerful forum for business. I would think, Vanya, for yourself, you need to be on LinkedIn and really Instagram as well, probably.
Yeah. And if you only have 30 minutes a day, folks, okay, there's other options. You can outsource it, obviously. But if you only have 30 minutes a day and you're a person, one man band or one woman band, definitely it's about planning and just put that 30 minutes aside and say, okay, for example, today I'm going to film some videos. And here are the 5 topics I need to cover. So do your first video with the blue jacket. The next video, take off the jacket, change your hair, change your makeup. So you can actually do things like that as well, where you can change the background, you can change different things, you know. So there are ways to do it, and I can actually help. Actually, we're getting loads of questions in here now, Regina. Okay, so we're gonna so
And
hopefully,
and
Vanya,
I did that on the back of you telling me to. So you said, Regina, you need to put out more videos. So every Wednesday a video goes out. But I recorded 9 videos with Cormac giving tips. It's stressful, I'll be honest. It is stressful because it takes a big effort, a load of energy. You might be tired, you might not be in the mood, but I have Cormac booked. I'm ready to do it. You can record it on your own phone with a tripod. Done beats waiting for perfection. And get on and just do it. And those videos have been very powerful in terms of increasing our reach and our profile and building trust. But that's 8 or 9 videos in one go. It takes about 2 hours, and then
mm,
they're done. They go
mm.
out every Wednesday, and I don't have to think about them every week.
Yeah, brilliant. With more questions. Gail, thank you, Gail. Thank you so much, Gail. I think Gail is joining us from the US. I'm not sure. I think it's outside, or is it the UK? What's your opinion on using AI to write social media posts? Do you feel there's a place for it? We can both answer this one.
I strongly disagree with using AI for social media posts because I don't think you're being authentic. I don't put a sniff of AI onto my LinkedIn because it needs to be my voice, the way I would speak. And having listened to a really good LinkedIn expert, she warns against it as well. They're my thoughts.
Yeah. And also, there is a place for AI when it comes to, okay, maybe you want to get an idea for topics that people might ask in your area of expertise, for example. You can get ideas from AI, but definitely I would write it. And don't forget, LinkedIn is actually clamping down on people who are using AI to write their posts. So be aware of
Yeah.
that. And LinkedIn pods, big no-no as well, engagement pods. So just be aware that LinkedIn knows that there are people that are just copy and pasting from AI and posting on AI. And we can tell. We can
And the
usually
same with newsletters. I think if somebody's going to read your newsletter, they want to hear your voice. They don't want to read an AI generated newsletter.
mm,
There will be my thoughts on it. We even have this conversation in house. Yes, they're excellent for property descriptions and even typing up notes after a meeting. They really tidy it up. Really love all of that. I think it has its use. But the more and more people use AI, the more obvious it will be that it's
yeah,
AI generated content and people will tune out.
absolutely. Now, lovely to see you. We have a question from Mujtaba. Thank you so much for joining. How important do you think visual branding is for standing out in this crazy LinkedIn scroll, like banners, profile, etc.? Does it actually stop the scroll? Yes, I think it's hugely important. Regina, would you agree? I mean, look at Regina's branding. Look at it. Stands out. Mine's
Yeah, yeah, but I don't have that. If I'm working from home, I don't have the branding. Don't let something get in the way of getting it done. Don't say, well, I don't have a nice wall to put it on. I won't have it for 3 months. I won't do anything. Done beats waiting for perfection. Ideally, yes, we all have a brand, but people buy, first of all, they come to a brand, but they buy from the personal brand.
Yeah, people buy from people, folks. I'm always saying it, people buy from people. And then LinkedIn user, I think that might be Andrew, I'm not sure. No, fastest way to build no like and trust factor is show your eyes and teeth. Okay. Natalie,
Absolutely.
Regina's videos encouraged me to start doing videos. Regina, thank you. There you go.
Brilliant. And Natalie, you are an expert at CRM systems and you know so much that most of us don't know. So when you're a helpful expert, um, you're helping people. So you're front of mind.
Hmm.
You're really front of mind and you're reminding people, hi, I'm here.
Yeah.
And so, and also you, because you're giving value, people want to reciprocate.
Yeah, and Jim, thank you so much for joining. Jim is the owner of vanbuddy.ie, folks, if you don't know about him. And Gail is based in Northern Ireland. Sorry, Gail. Sorry about that. Yes, I remember now. So, yeah, another thing I wanted to say, saying he doesn't wear makeup, Regina. So, yeah, the service, which is what you're talking about there, right? So being of service. is hugely important as well. So I think people say show up, stand out, but they forget about the service part. And I think you and I are very, very strong on that. But tell us a little bit about how you incorporate service into what you do.
Everything is about communication. So if we're going to provide a great service, one that's 5 star, it's all about communication. I often say to the team, even if you ring a client to say, "How are you, Sam? I'm just ringing to say I've no news." People actually love that. I've no news. We put the property up. This is the situation. I've no news. They love it. And that's how you build trust. We need to be very clear in our communication with our team, our colleagues, our clients. I think it's really, really important. And I think that's at the essence of serving. My car is in the garage at the moment, and I got a lovely voice note from the garage just to let you know, Regina, the parts come in. It won't be ready today. Give me a call. I'll update you. But if I have more news, I'll ring you by the end of the day. That is service. And for anyone listening who's not honing in on their Google reviews, it's a hugely, hugely important way to grow your business, to ask your customers, because there's nothing more important than social proof. It's not me saying we deliver 5 star service, it's our customers, and we actually grow our business on the back of that.
Well, absolutely. And then being of service in other ways, folks, can be something like, I mean, I'm in the Rotary, for example, it's giving back in some way. But like customer service, I know you have a great story, Regina, about matches, a box of matches. A box
Oh,
of matches.
oh, a long time ago, before we started selling, when I started in the business, I had no money. And in order to bring in the money, I needed to get some, we called them part-time jobs. Somebody else might call them consultancy work. So I was providing a consultancy marketing service for a hotel. And during that time, I met these amazing people involved in a theatre company. The upshot was, anyway, we wanted to push this show. And the show was called Pentamente, and it was about the Holocaust. It's over 22 years ago, maybe 25 years ago. So I asked someone, what would we do to take this musical to the next level? Somebody said, well, Jim Sheridan, the film director, himself and Bono are looking to actually bring a musical to Broadway. I said, right, okay, can we get his number? Anyway, the upshot was I got his number. I rang him. I persuaded him and his wife, Fran, to cancel a holiday that they were going to in France to come and review the musical. And somebody said, how did you manage that? Well, I told Jim he could go to France anytime. This is a one last chance to see this musical. And I said, I understand that you and Bono want to bring a musical to Broadway. And I said, look, people are jumping off trains from Dublin. They're traveling to see this musical. It is flying. So anyway, through local sponsorship, we organized a whole red carpet experience for Jim and his wife, Fran. And this guy that was working with me, Billy, on organizing everything. Now, this was a pro bono job. We weren't charging for this. This was something I was doing for free, as was Billy and everybody else. And we had the beautiful holiday home in Woodstown organized from. We had food in the fridge, wine in the fridge, snacks, heating on, everything. And just we're leaving, I said, Billy, we've no firelighters for the fire. What if they want to light the fire? Billy said, don't be ridiculous. They won't have time. He said, I'd hate to be married to you. And I said, don't worry. So anyway, we were great. We were great friends, and we still are. So Jim Sheridan, when he was leaving, I said, how was everything? He said it was all perfect. Was the only pity was that we couldn't light the fire. There was no matchsticks. I never forgot that. So the devil is in the detail. It's all
Mhm.
about the small things. When we go to hotels, we have an experience. It's not the big things, it's the small things. And it is never, as they say, crowded along the extra mile. That's the difference between extra and ordinary. It's
Yeah,
extraordinary. And it's
extra.
all about how we make people feel. And I was raging. I still meet him 20 odd years later. Jesus, if we didn't forget those matches. But I'll never forget those matches.
And neither will we now. I just thought that's a
Yes.
great story. It's actually in the book
Thank you,
as well,
Sam.
folks. But I love that story, and it's so important, those little details. And I know that people, the most successful people, focus on those big, those little details, the little,
Yeah. And
and
you're brilliant at the little details. I've been to your conferences, and even this today, you sent me a couple of topics that you said we might cover, and then I could relax. I knew the conversation would flow, but I just like to have a little bit of a roadmap. I like to plan. It's who I am. And then you sent me a link. You said, let's get on a few minutes early. Thanks be to God we did, because I had a problem with my laptop and I'm on my phone. And it is really about having somebody that you trust who will help you. And I wouldn't have done this LinkedIn Live unless I had you to hold my hand. And that's where mentors come in. You know, having coaches and mentors are really important. There is no way we would go on our business if I didn't have the right people helping us.
well, thank you for those lovely, kind comments, Regina. So let's give anyone who's watching now. So we have a lot of people watching, and a lot of male and female from all over, not just Ireland. Tell us a little bit about where, you know, if people were worried about saying too much on social media, have you any opinion around, you know, sharing certain details on social media and where to draw the line and boundaries?
I think everything comes back to your own brand. I know what my brand is. I know what I'm about in terms of my public persona. So there is a balance. I wouldn't really get into anything really negative. It just wouldn't be what I would do on social media. But I do think it's really important to know we're not for everyone. I cannot stress that enough. When I learned we're not for everyone, that meant that we were able to fire the clients that weren't the right fit, attract better clients, and genuinely be happier and remove a lot of stress. I never ever want to be vanilla. If you don't stand out and you're not a bit different, you could be in danger of being vanilla, and I would rather not be around at all. So I'm not going to be for everybody. You're not going to be for everyone,
No,
Sam. But
no.
we need to know who our tribe is. That's so, so important. Um, some people share a lot. Is it for me to judge? Others people don't. I mean, I love Edgar, who's on social media, and he shares a lot, but it works for his brand. Would you
Mm,
agree with that? Everybody is different.
yeah.
I do talk about stuff sometimes, you know, even I was talking about our wedding anniversary at my live after five. I was going out for dinner. That'd be kind of as much. I wouldn't kind of get any more into it. That's just the way I am.
Yeah, I agree. And, you know, for me as well, you know, but you see, my audience, it's knowing your audience. It comes down to knowing your audience, folks. So, for example, let's take Jim, for example, Van Buddy, right? So, for example, his audience are probably totally different to my audience and your audience, you know, but there could be some little similarities with people in our networks, but really, like I'd say, like Jim's audience, you know, they're people who might be looking to buy a van, you know, so that's probably a lot of, you know, maybe trade people, or it could be people who run a big company, a fleet of vans. So it's just a totally different audience to my audience and your audience. So it's about knowing your audience, knowing your ideal
Exactly.
client, your ideal client as well. You know, not everybody is your client, and it has to be a fit. And, you know, I think when you keep leading with integrity, like you do, Regina, leading with integrity and helping, and those little bits of kindness, you're very kind as well, Regina, if you don't mind me saying, kindness and that little bit, giving that little bit extra of just, you know, encouragement to other business owners, can people will remember that.
Look, in giving, we receive,
Yeah.
and I'm an established business, 28 years, and I love the idea of helping people who are starting out or younger, sharing some of the mistakes I've made, because if I can save someone making that same mistake, needless to say, when you start out, it's hard to be so selective. But I would say be careful of what you'll accept. I do
Mm.
think we all must have boundaries. I used to think I'd have to take calls all hours of the night. I don't believe that. I believe business can be done um, between certain hours. Okay, as an estate agent, you have to be a bit more flexible. I do find it hard to tune out, frankly, but I
Mm.
wouldn't like to be. I don't message my clients on a Sunday. They don't message me. I do have family time. I don't need to be giving them updates at 10 o'clock at night, because we use software that can give them the updates. We have self-service platforms. So we do have that technology to service our clients in a way that they need.
Yeah, and I think just letting people know, having a message, an autoresponder message saying, "Look, we will be open at 9, I'll get straight back to you," or just something like that.
Yeah.
And Dewey is joining us from Wales. It's important that brands create a brand personality to give themselves predefined standards. And Dewey, if you ever think of moving over to Waterford, you know who to contact.
Thank you, Sam. And the brand personality is so important. It's so important actually in terms of your hiring, in terms of communicating with your team, in terms of what is your culture. Culture is actually behavior. Your culture in your organization is what sets you aside. I believe that's our difference. So, for example, our brand personality is that we're straight talking. So, if you hire me to sell your house, Sam, I may not tell you that everything is perfect. I'll have to give you some tough love, to help you to do really well on the sale. We're straight talking, we're energetic. We can't have people on the team who are not energetic and, you know, they're walking around like that. That's just not going to fit. We are intelligent. That doesn't mean, it means we take we make intelligent choices. we
Mm.
we we learn and we grow, and we're empathetic. It's very important in housing to be empathetic. Very, very.
Oh, I can imagine. And, if anyone wants to contact Regina, it's libertyblue.ie. What has been your biggest surprise in the whole social media world, let's say, that you've noticed as a business owner? What has been the biggest surprise to you, like that made things successful or that made you connect with someone that you weren't expecting to be connected to? What was the biggest surprise you ever got on social media? Can you think of something around that?
I can't, because I don't actually believe in one silver bullet. It's like all these people who set up businesses, and was looking at Instagram last night, how you can go from 0 to 3 million in 7 months. That's ridiculous, right? So yeah, you're not going to, it doesn't happen in one go. It takes time. It really, really takes time. So it's not one thing. We had a meeting with our accountant this morning. They're talking about return on investment in terms of our marketing. It's not one thing. I believe it's about trusting the process. I've seen people achieve great things through consistently showing up on their social media. And that's what's happened for us. It's incremental things happen. It's not one big wave. Probably landing a big piece of business in the middle of COVID, our biggest transition was actually during COVID. And post COVID, we grew our business significantly because I read a long time ago that during World War II, Kellogg's decided to ramp up their spend on advertising. So post war, they owned the cereal market. So I say in the meetings, guys, we need to ramp it up. Everyone's gone quiet, foot to the floor. We put the accelerator down. We were out there. So yes, it looks like, oh my God, that happened all of a sudden, but it was over 3 years. And it
Mm,
was during a space over 5 years that a massive transformation happened. But you have to work. Nothing beats hard work. It's
yeah.
hard work. It's getting up. It's doing the radio interviews. It's packing in the 10 videos in the 2 hours. It's when you don't feel like doing it. It's just showing up consistently. And there's a lady that I follow called Lisa Novak. She's an estate agent in Australia. She has absolutely brought her business to an incredible level, mainly on the back of her social media. And she gave some great advice that I follow. For any of the haters or the people who criticize us, she simply says, change the channel, honey. Because these are our channels, my LinkedIn channel, your LinkedIn channel, our Instagram, and we're not for everybody. And I wish I'd known that sooner. So I'm sorry, there's no silver bullet. It's about consistently showing up.
I actually agree with you, and I know that question wasn't on our little plan as well,
It's
but,
okay.
it really there's so many people that promise that they will go viral, or it's one of the first questions we can get asked sometimes. It's like, "Can you make me go viral?" You know, look, just follow the trends, follow people who are doing it well, get ideas, don't be afraid to build a community around your brand. So Dewey, thank you for that. And I've made Ireland a lot smaller for business throughout the community. Community is also another one that I think we should touch on, maybe building a community around your brand and brand advocates. So you won't build them unless you have the integrity, that you're showing up all the time, that you're assisting others as well from time to time. And I just feel that, Regina, you encapsulate that whole businesswoman. Like, I mean, I remember years ago I met you and I was like, oh my God, she's so cool. You know?
Oh, thank you. I look at you and I said the same. Community is everything. Interestingly, Niall Breslin spoke at an event last week organised by the local enterprise and Skillnets, and he was speaking about the most important things being rest. Everybody's talking about quick, work harder, you've got to be on it, you'd be up early training, but he spoke about the importance of rest, which really resonated with me, and the importance of community.
Yeah.
Community is very, very important. This is a community. Having people you can ask advice to, community, whether that's charity work or a network of people, a mastermind group, people that you can lean on, but also in giving, we receive. I think that's really, really important. When I'm involved in a Rotary gig or the Christmas event, when WLR rang me and said, are you okay to do it again next year? I said last year, stop asking me that. It's in the diary. We love it. It's a priority for us because it's just a beautiful thing to do and we
Mm,
love it, you
yeah.
know?
I think we'll end on that because that was absolutely lovely. And Stacia has sent a lovely message saying she loves your natural, no nonsense approach and integrity, value. Thank you, Regina and Samantha. You're
I
very, very
appreciate
well.
that. I
Thank you.
appreciate that.
So
Thank you.
yeah. So go ahead, Regina. If there's anything you want to add, is there anything coming up that we can look out for?
Oh, one other thing, a little tip, because as you always say, it's about giving value. I'm massively into having accountability coaches for different areas of my life. And some people think, oh, the investment is too much, I can't afford it. I invested, in accountability coaches. You're one for me, Samantha, and it really does work. We need coaches, we need experts that we can work with who help us grow and level up. I couldn't have grown the business if I was to do it on my own and if my business relied on me solely to bring in the knowledge. It's so important. It's really about the people we surround ourselves with.
Thank you, Regina. Thank you, Regina Mangan of Liberty Blue. And thank you, everybody. Dewey, Stacia, Mutaba, I hope I pronounced your name right. Evelyn, Benny. This will be available to replay. So if anyone wants to watch the replay, and Jim and everybody who joined us, thank you so much. And folks, Regina,
Kurt Mila Mahagut.
libertyblue.ie. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
You can stay here, Regina.